Thanks for having me, and thanks for the introduction, Petra. It's a pleasure to be here and introduce UrbanX, our accelerator for startups reimagining city life. What you can see here is downtown LA. The pandemic has revealed how fragile and globally interconnected cities are. Cities are unique environments for progress, prosperity, and culture. But they have been under pressure for a long time and face challenges like need of mobility, lack of affordable housing, or infrastructure complexity. And with that, they face threats as the evaluation of infrastructure and real estate if corporates would leave cities. For us, this is not a reason to abandon the city, rather to embrace it and take the opportunity to re-envision how we build and rebuild cities for people. The future of cities is not set in stone, and it's not easy to predict. But the choices which are made now will shape it for the future. And we think a way to make this happen is betting on creative, motivated, and innovative startups to support the public sector and to construct growing and resilient cities. We gathered urban insights from our work with startups, trends which have been actually out there for a while and have been implemented now very fast because of COVID-19. And now cities are already coming back to life and these trends are still out there. So let's have a closer look. The first trend we see is that with no social interactions indoors, cities reassign streets to outdoor dining activities. They actually exchange parking slots with outdoor restaurant spaces. Secondly, amidst the pandemic, public transit ridership is down. Apptopia has registered 59% decline in transit app usage. But the bike share ridership has increased significantly. Many cities have considered supporting this trend, like Paris. The city adds 650 kilometers of bike routes. So they actually change car lanes to bike lanes. Third, from electronics to cars to furniture, industries across the board are moving to on-demand models, where a subscription guarantees that items land at our doorstep within an hour. For common goods delivered daily or weekly, the logistics may not be sustainable. And Amazon started to deliver with a fleet of 250 cargo bikes in New York City. DHL and UPS are actually testing similar systems. Fourth, there's this topic of green recovery. So within the pandemic, it was drawn attention to the intersection between public health, climate, and equity. As cities shape their recovery, many are positioning it in the context of climate change. Protecting the environment, our health, and communities go hand in hand. And at the same time, the personal consumption and our personal travel habits are changing too. Last but not least, we have the shift to digital communities. And this conference is a perfect example because you're all kind of watching it online. And it also shifted from a physical to a digital space. And for example, Facebook data showed last March in 2020 that time spent in group calls increased by 1,000%. But all of these megatrends are not isolated. They're deeply connected and interdependent. And cities are local points of these trends. And we conceive cities as ecosystems. And we like to understand the city as a platform. Technology is transforming cities from siloed organizations to deeply connected ecosystems, where new solutions need to be integrated. Big infrastructure and top-down planning are important aspects of every functional city, but we don't stop there. We understand what exists in the city as an opportunity to build upon, to amplify with new technologies, and to enrich with relevant services. And now I would actually like to answer a question which maybe already popped up during my presentation. Why are cities a relevant topic for a car company like Mini? The original Mini was born in 1959. The designer, Sir Alex Ziganis, turned the oil crisis into an opportunity to develop a small, innovative, and efficient car. Mini challenged the status quo at that time, and our passion for finding solutions for society-scale challenges is what drives UrbanX and Mini today. And we still actually still want to turn crisis into opportunities. We think that all these great ideas will not happen in isolation. They need exchange. And this is why we like to support and work with entrepreneurs, kind of the heroes of our time. We have found a methodology for running accelerator programs. First, we need to group up to rethink cities, and now is the time to do so. We use technology and design to drive change across many urban sectors. And entrepreneurs are ideal positioned to test and grow new solutions. We can support them through tools and our network. Our startups are creating disruptive and scalable solutions across sectors like built environment and real estate, food waste, water, public health and safety, energy, transportation, and more. They are aiming to make cities more sustainable for the future. We see the cities as a whole, and to succeed in one sector, you also have to look at the other ones. And all of that is translated into the following program setup. We are based in New York. We get every 6 months up to 500 applications for 6 to 7 or 8 slots per cohort. And the startups who work with us do that for 5 months. Our partner, a US venture fund, Urban-Us, invests $100K per company. And during the program, we match the startups with world-class engineers and design talent to help them turn their idea into a product for the real life or the real world. And with each and every cohort, our global community of entrepreneurs and innovators grows. I brought 3 startups with me to give you a glimpse of our portfolio. What you can see here is OneRoof. OneRoof is a company which is now a current cohort. And they create a communication platform that helps people living in the same building to form a community and become more resourceful, to make people feel more connected, supported, and less lonely. The next one is Near Space Labs. They are focused on urban imagery. It's balloon-based, so it's kind of carbon-free. And they cover the sphere in between drones and satellites. It's quite useful for cities when they are looking for activities in ports or regions for malls. Last but not least, I brought Robotics. It's a company which is, a little bit longer with us. And all of us know the problems with the potholes in streets. Robotics created an AI technology to make it easier to identify them and fix them with less money and a shorter amount of time. With UrbanX, we aim to empower entrepreneurs and offer them a global platform to exchange. The program is extremely hands-on, and to date, we have invested in 66 companies, all in an effort to make our cities more resilient and looming climate crisis. Over the last 5 years, we have gathered a wealth of insights into urban problems, built connections with urban leaders worldwide. And we're bringing together startups from Texas to Tel Aviv. We are able to incubate ideas in cities. And these capabilities have made us to a #1 accelerator in urban tech. So I would actually invite you to apply, to cooperate with us, or to share ideas with us. Thank you everyone for listening. And now back to Claudia.